So good evening and welcome to a live stream from ACMB Church. We're just starting a few seconds late and I will just let the intro run for a couple of minutes to allow people to jump onto the stream as they are able. So welcome to this update broadcast from the Church of England in Ampfield, Chilworth and North Baddesley. We are your parish church, and it's at times like this that we look back into our history and our heritage and think of our role in a new way. We'll be live in a couple of minutes with a run through of some changes to what's going on at church and also some news from the village. We'll start in just a few minutes, just give it a little bit longer to let a few more people hop on. In the minutes that follow, I'll start at 8 p.m. This is just a stunningly beautiful transition video that I picked up from a stock provider. I just find the gliding over the clouds a really anxiety releasing thing. It's a great beauty to be able to fly like this, even virtually. So we'll be starting just very shortly with a chat through what's been up and happening this week. I have to apologise too that if you watched the last stream, we had a slight issue where the stream went into the wrong place and then managed to delete itself shortly after the stream ended. So I'm very sorry about that if that confused you, caused some broken links on the web, which is something we try very hard to avoid, but isn't always possible. So welcome again to those who are popping on to this update from the Church of England in Ampfield, Chilworth and North Baddesley. So, good evening and welcome to the Church of England in Ampfield, Chilworth and North Baddesley, and welcome to this update on a Saturday evening at 8 p.m. It's been an anxious and a difficult week for many people, and in many ways it's right to be anxious and difficult. This epidemic is exceptionally serious. It will affect all our lives, and in many ways, those of us who live through it, our lives will be defined by it. If you would like some spiritual support at this difficult time, if you'd like to think about the nature of life and who God is and what He means, what it means to be loved by God who is Creator, Redeemer and Sustainer, then we would love to help you. We have a growing set of resources which are available, the first of which was being delivered to various houses around the village today, which is Prayer in the Time of Pandemic. It's a short booklet with a resource section in it, and we may well be referring to it if we choose to live stream some worship during the week. So if you would benefit from having a physical copy, then please give us a shout. Either use the social channels or ring us at the All Saints office. We would like to endorse the role that Unity, the Test Valley Borough Council charity for social and community support, we'd like to endorse their scheme for providing social support in an emergency during this epidemic crisis. I'm just going to read their phone number off. Their phone number is 0330 400 4116. The reason that we've jumped on, so to speak, with Unity as a church is because in emergency situations like this, coordination is king. And Unity are tied into the Test Valley Borough Council, and they are also tied into the Local Resilience Forum, which is the organisation that relates Hampshire and Test Valley to national government in terms of the Civil Contingencies Act 2004. You'll probably be hearing a lot more about the Civil Contingencies Act in time, but for now we're trying to be good neighbours, and we are trying to provide as many volunteers as we can. At the same time, as a church, we haven't gone away, so if you normally relate to us as church and you would like some help, please don't hesitate to give us a call on the usual numbers, either the vicarage or the office, or knock us on the social profiles which are showing on screen at the moment. We're very sad to announce that because of the pandemic, Little Saints, the truly excellent preschool who operate out of our church at All Saints, that's the modern parish church in the centre of North Baddesley, have had to stop operating. We are praying for them and for all the families of the children who they supported, and we look forward to a point in time when they may be able to resume operating again. So this Sunday is going to be an exceptional time for us as a church. I can't think of another occasion in modern times where public worship has been suspended across the Church of England, but that is the guidance we have been given. We are encouraging people to participate in the BBC Act of Worship, which is featuring the Archbishop of Canterbury. So that's going out on local radio, BBC Local Radio from 8 AM on Sunday, BBC Radio 4 from 8:10 AM, and it will be live streamed, or premiered rather, on the Facebook channel of the Church of England from 9 AM. At 12:30 on Sunday, we will have a YouTube conversation between the vicar, myself, and possibly a few other people here to chat through that service. So if you listen in to what's coming out from the Central Church of England, we'll be talking about that spiritually and in the context of North Baddesley and what it means for us. So travel changes are next, and as you may or may not be aware, Hampshire County Council and Southampton City Council have suspended the limits on the times when concessionary bus passes can be used. So they can now be used before 9:30 in the morning. This is primarily to allow older and vulnerable people to reach a supermarket in the time that many businesses are setting aside for vulnerable people to come shopping. Should be noted though that many bus companies, including Blue Star, are operating reduced timetables, both to help with social distancing and in view of the fact that there's just much less traffic on the road. So please check if you can with your bus operator before committing yourselves to a journey. The council tax is weighing heavily on a large number of minds, I know. And Test Valley Borough Council have released a statement where they assure people that during this crisis they won't start legal proceedings against anyone in respect of council tax debt. However, they do ask that if you are facing problems paying your council tax because of your employment circumstances changing, that you get in touch with them, and they would like to help you claim council tax benefit so that you don't incur a debt that when things return to normal you'll have to pay off. One of the important roles of us as a parish church is to provide ministry in time of death, to provide support to the sick and the bereaved. We're 100% committed to ensuring this carries on throughout the pandemic. It's been a feature of the English church that plague, famine, nothing has stopped the English churches from offering ministry, and we hope that when history is written, the same will be said of us in North Baddesley. However, funeral rituals and the rituals around bereavement have in other epidemics been a major focus of how the disease spreads. So we will be changing the way we do things. We appreciate that may be difficult, but we do ask for your forbearance, and what exactly that means we will share with those people who come into that situation. So some very local news. Village Day is cancelled, and we would like to extend our thanks to the Village Day committee who do such a lot of hard work, and we really hope that they'll be back in 2021. We would like to offer the same thanks that are pouring out on social media to our pharmacists in Boots and to the co-op team at Botley Road and the other shops, McCall's, and to others in the area who are continuing to keep people fed and watered, and that's really much appreciated. So that's the end of the update from the Church of England in Ampfield, Chilworth and North Baddesley. I'd just like to end with a reflection. In the coming days, we're going to have to make some very difficult ethical decisions about the allocation of resources, how healthcare gets allocated, how healthcare, how it's going to work, how community will work. And the problem is that at the moment our society has become very individualistic. And as a church, that's a problem, because individual freedom isn't freedom simply to do whatever I want. It has to take account of the community. Otherwise, it isn't freedom at all. But in respect of the ethical decisions that are going to come up, we will be praying for our communities that they might bear those easily. But one of the things happens is that people say, well, what's the good? What's the right thing? What's the thing that we should weigh our ethics against? And I just wanted to offer this reflection that in the discussion of ethics and about God, you can't really go down the road of asking what is the good thing to do, because there's a much more pertinent, a much more relevant question that leaps out at you, and that is, what is the will of God? And that is an arrow that will be shaping our ministry during this difficult time. What is the will of God? And that will be the measure that we use in helping to shape our ethical decisions. So it's Saturday night. We hope to see many of you tomorrow at 12:30, and I leave you with a blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord give you peace and keep you through this night. In Jesus' name. Amen.